to MMA Heat, the show that is all about heart, endurance, aggression, and technique in MMA and in entertainment. I'm Karyn Bryant, coming to you from the Fortune Gym in Los Angeles, California, and here's what's in store. You're going to get the story behind the film based on the life of retired UFC fighter Matt Hamill. You're also going to meet Strikeforce's rising star Ronda Rousey, and we're going to take you cage side at the first ever Samurai MMA Pro show. And in fact, that's where we're going to start right now. Now, Samurai MMA Pro was put together by PIRES, who is a very good friend of Fabricio Werdum's. We caught up with Fabricio, Wanderlei Silva, Babalu Sobral, and King's MMA head coach Rafael Cordeiro to talk to them about their own early days in MMA. Take a listen. You had one of your fighters, Michael MADRID. He won tonight. How did you feel about his fight?
Really good. Him have one good style. He uses his legs very well. He's from Alaska, and he trained in my gym, like I think over for 1 year. Really good fight, really good match. And congratulations for the guys from the Samurai Pro. I think today born the one new good event. You know, you saw that last fight. Ooh, amazing.
Very good. Do you remember your own early days when you used to fight in events that were smaller like this?
Yeah, of course. No, we need to have events like that for give opportunity for the new fighters show your work. And I'm so glad for we have this new event, give this opportunity for all new fighters.
Obviously, you're so experienced and you know so much about the game. Is there something that you told Michael before his fight, something that you would tell any young fighter going out for one of their first bigger shows?
No, I think we need to make the fighter calm, because sometimes the first fight stands in the mind. Sometimes we're thinking about the bad things can we have and know about the positive things. So you need to think about your positive things, no, and try to make the fights in your game, and go in there, pray to God, and let's go.
Do you remember when you were just starting out and you were doing small shows like this?
Yes, my first fight is crazy fight is in London. I'm living in Spain. This is crazy because I want to try the MMA the first time. The guy say you come for sure, but I say I want to try the MMA. I say I'm paid, no problem, I pay. The guy say no, but I pay for you, but no, I pay. I pay for it. I just want them just try one time. The guy no, I pay for you 200 euros I say for sure, no problem. This free, it's free too. I go. Yeah, I got it. I win the first time the champion. I don't have the name of the guy in my first fight. But I got the triangle. Yes, I got the triangle sometimes.
I want to ask you if you remember your own early days, what it's like being on one of these smaller shows coming up as a fighter.
Well, no, it reminds me of my old days, and it's different. No, it's a good question. See, back today it was more romantic for me. Now it's more professional. There's a lot of. Before it's fun. Now it's fun too, but different conception. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain that.
Well, if you're saying it's more romantic, I guess maybe it's about the spirit or what you were feeling in doing it. Now, everybody's goal is to fight in a big organization, and maybe you felt like you were just doing it to prove something to yourself.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you answer good.
But I understand that. But now MMA, as you know, is such a big business that it's different.
Yeah, it's more a big deal right now. Especially on the board, people didn't look at us like a sport, no, a professional. It's just saying crazy people. They just fight in the cage. That's the difference.
Do you remember when you were a fighter and you were fighting in a show like this, a smaller show, what you went through? What was it like for you?
It's a great emotion. I know what the guy's feeling, but if the guys in the future want big steps, I think it's the first one. You guys for sure gonna start really well, because the show have a great organization. Lucas, André, Fabricio, all those guys involved to do this show. I think it's a great opportunity. You guys got the opportunity. So if you guys could fight really good, for sure next show everybody gonna fight. If no good so well, if no fight so well, maybe. In the ring, in the gym, we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Some guys are great in the gym, right? And then when it comes time for showtime, they can't do it.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Sometimes guy is a big monster in the gym, but when he goes to the octagon, frozen. But I think it's gonna be awesome. The guys train, not just my guys, but all those guys, really, really professional guys. The guys work hard to build not just the tournament, but the building, their own name inside. So I'm so excited.
A little later in the show, we'll bring you some fight action from Samurai MMA Pro. It was a very fun night. Stay with us, though, when we return. The writer-producers behind the Matt Hamill biopic, The Hammer. Karyn Bryant welcoming you back to MMA Heat. Still to come on the program, Strikeforce fighter Ronda Rousey and more from Samurai MMA Pro. But as you know, we are all about MMA and entertainment, so it's time to go to the movies. Let's get the story behind The Hammer. This is a film based on the life story of retired UFC fighter Matt Hamill, who was the first completely deaf fighter to make it in the UFC. You may remember him from The Ultimate Fighter Season 3, and in his career, he went on to have wins over Mark Munoz, Tito Ortiz, and others. Well, we talked to Joseph McAleer and Eben Kaspar, the two men who wrote and produced the movie, and we found out how they got this inspiring story to the big screen.
What was the impetus behind even making this film?
That's actually an Eben thing. He saw Matt Hamill on a reality show and just called me up. He's like, "You got to see this."
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, you gotta see this.
No. But he's a compelling character.
Yeah, he definitely is really inspiring, and you know, there's not that many Matt Hamills that kind of show up every, you know, they only show up once in a while, and I was immediately drawn to the story, and you know, luckily Joe and I, you know, had a chance to go meet Matt, and you know, the rest is history. So it's finally coming out.
Now, I know how I've sold it to people, but if you were to package it into a catchphrase or, you know, a marketing phrase, how do you describe the film?
I would say it's the Rudy of MMA. I mean, that's probably the best I could describe it. It's a very inspiring underdog, classic sports underdog story with the MMA and wrestling as the backdrop. So if you're looking for a good sports story like Rudy, Rocky, Hoosiers, you know, movies in that kind of world, then you'll really like this film.
What's your favorite movie?
Rudy's my favorite. I know it's cheesy, but I love that film. And Rocky. I mean,
You'll notice there's a few Rudy moments in the movie.
Yeah, you'll notice there's a few moments that we kind of
couple Rocky moments
inspired by, or whatever we could say that.
No, they're blatant
rip-offs. Yeah, we just like literally wrote it, and we're like, ooh, I like that from that film.
I think the correct term is homage.
Homage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, obviously, with Matt, it's a difficult story to tell in that he's deaf, he can speak. How do you know when you're making the film whether to use a hearing impaired actor or what to do about the subtitling and all of the sort of mechanics of making the film?
I think, you know, we did the best that we could. I mean, our big thing is we wanted to make a good film, and it's so hard to kind of balance all those things, you know. And in regard to the deaf culture kind of aspects of the film, we thought it was really important to put deaf actors for the deaf roles, because nobody's going to bring that authenticity like a deaf actor. You know, obviously actors can play any role, but we thought that was really important for the authenticity, and also for kind of opening up some doors and some opportunities for some deaf actors. And but we spent, I don't know, what, 3 years kind of really exhaustively researching, you know, important things and correct things, you know, that to represent their culture properly.
I do want to talk about the reality of the movie, in that you have Rich Franklin, who's a professional UFC fighter, in it. I want to know how you did get involved with the UFC. How much did they help you? And because, you know, obviously you need to get the real feel for everything.
With Rich, and even with the UFC, we lucked out a lot. When Joe and I were writing this, we always thought that it would be great if we could have some of the UFC footage in the film, but we never knew if that was going to become a possibility. And then luckily, Joe and I were at one of Matt's fights. We met Dana White, and he was initially not receptive, but he at least opened the door enough where he's like, just send me some stuff.
Where were you?
We were at the Playboy Club at the Palms Hotel. Okay, and we had a couple drinks in us and had some liquid courage, and went up to him and kind of did my pitch. And I heard he was big into the technology and social media, so I had some stuff to show him on the phone. And you know, Dana White gets a lot
You
of.
have to watch this. Don't look at it.
That's probably what I did too.
You did.
But yeah, he was receptive enough that he eventually allowed us to show him footage and give him some more information, and then he liked the film and allowed us to use parts of the Matt Hamill walking out. I don't want to give away too much of the film, but some footage in the film. And then in regard to Rich Franklin, Rich and Matt are both from Cincinnati, Ohio, and Rich actually kind of helped Matt get into the UFC. And so because Rich is now getting into acting and trying to find you know, some things to do after his fighting career, we thought he would be a great, you know,
Rich can act
character.
Rich was good.
Yeah, and he actually took it really, like, he came in, we were, you know, you have to get your shots in a certain amount of time. We were a little nervous that he wouldn't come in and have it all prepared, and he actually came in and nailed it, so.
I was trying to talk to him on set one time. He's like, actually, do you mind? I got to go work on my lines. Look at me.
Well, and that's why he's a good fighter, too. He's dedicated. What was Matt's reaction the first time he saw the finished product?
I think he was overwhelmed. I mean, honestly, he was taken back. I mean, I think it must be an odd thing to see your life kind of in a movie. So I mean, he was overwhelmed, and I think it brought up a lot of kind of emotions and feelings about, you know, his relationship with his grandfather, and who's very important to him, and you know, I think he's really happy with it.
That film has so much heart, and it has been winning awards at festivals left and right. I tell you, I have seen it. I loved it. You do not want to miss it. You also don't want to go away, because when we come back, we'll take you cage side to Samurai MMA Pro. Welcome back to MMA Heat. Karyn Bryant with you. Still to come, Strikeforce fighter Ronda Rousey. But right now it's time to go back to Samurai MMA Pro. Let's see some aggression in the cage. This is a new organization based out of Los Angeles, California. And right now we're going to hear from some of the up-and-coming fighters and the show's promoter, Lucas PIRES, about their fights and the event. We're also going to see Jamie Yeager in action. You remember him from The Ultimate Fighter. He was victorious in the main event. Take a look. Right now I am talking to Lucas PIRES. He is in charge of Samurai MMA Pro, the CEO. How are you feeling about this night so far?
I'm feeling very good. The show turned out very well. I got a lot of people here, good crowd, so many good fights. The last fight that just finished was for sure one of the best fights of the year that I just saw here. Gabriel Baino just won, we beat Nola Tickman. Gabriel Baino is a Brazilian national champion. I'm very happy. I have a lot of stars here. I have Jose Aldo, Fabricio Werdum, Wanderlei, Babalu. I'd like to thank all them, all my friends to be here and support the event. For sure, Samurai came to stay. It's the first event they're doing, and December 9 we have the second one. Culver City Memorial Building, never gonna be the same anymore.
Well, and it's great. You had a jiu-jitsu tournament a few months ago that was also very successful. So what made you want to move into doing you know, an MMA show?
We're gonna do actually all the tournaments. We're gonna do jiu-jitsu tournament, no-gi tournament. We're gonna do the MMA one. We're gonna probably alternate between every 3 months to do a different one. So we're coming to get the role in the market that we think, and give the support to the fighters that we think they needed.
And we should say that you are also part of Werdum Combat Team.
Yeah, we have the gym together in Marina Venice here, and have the gym in Brazil. We have a couple gyms.
Madrid as well,
Madrid,
right?
Zaragoza, Spain. We have a gym here now in Greeley, Colorado. So
is there one in Croatia still too?
Croatia too. Nice. So our team is growing. Our jiu-jitsu team of is growing too. So we're probably gonna be in the team challenge soon.
And you are also a competitor, but have you you know, hung up the gi, or what's your deal?
I'm not hung up the gi now. Still teaching every day in my gym, but compete is very hard. You know, cannot do work on both sides at the same time. I actually started thinking about promote when I was in the gym training for every guy. I'm black belt jiu-jitsu too, and I see that a lot of guys with a lot of potential doesn't have the opportunity to show the job, show everything that they do every day. They don't have anywhere to go. So I understand they have to be somebody to work on the other side of the table and make that happen.
How did you feel about this show tonight? There was a very good turnout. I mean, it seems like people are here to support. Not that this is too small of a show, but you know, it's good to feel the love in the smaller shows, right?
Definitely. For this to be the first event for Samurai Pro, it was amazing turnout. A lot of names in the building, and a lot of great fights on the card. It was definitely a spectacular evening and a wonderful event to be a part of.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like. I don't know if I were a fighter and I looked out and I saw Jose Aldo just sitting there, I'd be like, I would have to pause just a second and go, God damn, that man is good.
Definitely. There was a lot of powerful people in the room tonight.
Now, you train out of King's MMA. What was Rafa telling you in between rounds?
Well, he's like really master now. He like did the details, the tips, do this. Yeah, I put him in my game. When I can't work in my last fights. I have some loss because I try to finish the guy. Sometimes when you try to finish the guy, finish the guy, you spend your gas, e daí the fights maybe turn.
Fan are you? Come to fights a lot?
I've been to a couple regular boxing fights. I used to just train normal boxing. So now that MMA is big, you got to come and check this out and stuff. So this is my first actual MMA fight. Really? Yeah.
But you know what to look for, right?
Yeah. Badass stuff.
So do you have a favorite fighter at all?
I'm like the old school guys, the old UFC guys. But I'm here to see the young guys and who's up and coming.
Well, Wanderlei Silva is here, and he's old school, obviously, but still fighting. He's just a warrior, man. That guy is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good. I just can't wait to see him just be entertained. I like being on this side sometimes.
I was standing there watching the fight with Babalu, and we were talking about the fact that you got some great kicks. What's your background? Do you come from a karate discipline? Or?
Yeah. Growing up, about when I was 8 years old, I started doing Jinnu karate up in Alaska. That's where I'm from. Okamoto School Karate, and that's where I get a lot of my kicking from. And it's something I've maintained throughout my MMA career.
Coach Rafael is just go after him. Don't stop. Be relentless out there. You just keep going and going and going. And Coach Jacob Hartman said, leave it all out there. You have nothing to leave behind. Go out there and do it. So I heard Coach Rafael say 1 minute to go, and I looked into Mosey's eyes, and he really thought he was going to make it to the second round. That's when he thought he was just going to hug me up and hold on to the second. And I heard Coach Rafael elbows. So I just began to just let him rain, baby, let him rain. And I heard him a couple times. He squealed, and I knew that was hurting him.
As I speak, Lucas is already hard at work at another Samurai event, and we at MMA Heat wish him endurance in the game. When we come back, we'll go to the gym with Strikeforce fighter Ronda Rousey. You're watching MMA Heat. Karyn Bryant with you. Time now to hang out with Strikeforce's Ronda Rousey. This Santa Monica, California native took home a bronze medal in judo at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Currently, she is 3-0. All wins have come by way of submission, all in under a minute. That is some technique right there. We sat down and talked to her about her attempts to make her mark in women's MMA. You've been training with Antony, who is a great kickboxing coach. Where do you think your kickboxing, your striking game was before you came here, and where do you think it is now?
Well, I think that my striking is just exponentially improving all the time. It's mostly because I started from zero. Yeah. But I mean, I had no bad habits to begin with, so I feel like I'm picking up things pretty quick, and I feel like I'm not going to use my striking until I have to. But I hopefully everyone's going to be pleasantly surprised. Nice. I'd like to.
Was it a tough transition though to get into MMA for you?
Well, does it look like it?
No, not really. Not really.
It was
but they say there are no stupid questions.
No,
so every now and then I got to ask one like that.
No, it wasn't stupid. The first year was really hard.
Yeah.
I was switching careers, and I had no kind of income from MMA or judo or anything like that. So I was working graveyard shifts, 24-hour fitness. I was doing physical therapy on dogs, which of course would only happen in Santa Monica, right? I was giving acupuncture to a collie in a headlock, But yeah, I had a couple odd jobs during that time, and I'm very happy that I now work for Strikeforce, and I can just concentrate solely on training. But for 1 year, it was really rough.
It's a tough predicament to be in, because I feel like the women have a lot more of a burden to carry right now.
Yeah, well, because the guys are already established, and So they have wiggle room to have like, you know, like GSP title fights where it's like, you know, ding, 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 ding. But hey, you know, no one's really going to say anything about it because, you know, the guys are already established. I mean, if you think about when the men's MMA started, if you look at the depth of the divisions then and the depth of the women's divisions now, it's extremely similar. Yeah. It's just there wasn't like another half of the organization doing way better at the time. You know, there wasn't like any like comparison except for like Pride in Japan, and a lot of Americans didn't even know about that. Right. So I think it's a little unfair for the girls. I think they get a lot more criticism than the guys did when they were first starting out because they have they're constantly being compared to the men who had a head start.
So what would you tell a young woman who's looking to either get into judo or into MMA? What do you think is the going to be the most challenging element initially, and what's the most rewarding?
I think the most challenging thing for women coming to MMA is they're going to have a lot of there's not going to be that much encouragement. There's going to be a lot of people telling you that you can't and you shouldn't and it's not worth your time. And you just have to be unwilling to accept anything other. You have to be like, just know what you want and don't take no for an answer ever. Don't take no for an answer from coaches. Don't get any, I like ask anyone here. I'll bug them until they work out with me. Like it's harder for a girl because when you come into a new club, you have to like prove yourself over and over again. It's not like, you know, I can walk into MMA club and even though I'm an Olympic medalist, I still have to prove myself over and over as being, you know, worth their time and stuff like that. So it's frustrating, but I mean, it's worth it. So if you're trying to get into it, just keep trying.
And the most rewarding then is?
The most rewarding is winning. Yeah, nothing like winning. I just I don't know, it's kind of like it's a drug in its own way, you know? Like in any way that you could think of it, winning is like a drug. You know, you come off on a really big high and woo, nothing bugs you, and then you right afterward you want to do it again, you need to do it again, you know? So it's kind of like an adrenaline junkie kind of job.
Yeah, female fighters definitely face a lot of challenges, but I want to applaud Ronda's heart and her passion. Well, that does do it for us here at MMA Heat. I want to thank everybody here at Fortune Gym for their hospitality. I want to remind you that you can join our Facebook fan page and you can follow MMA Heat and me on Twitter. I'm Karyn Bryant. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.